Welcome friends to another video, welcome to another review, and this time around I'm going to talk about this thing right here in front of the camera called Armaf Club de Nuit Sillage or Sillage, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to say it right from the beginning of this video so we don't have any discussions afterwards. This is one of the most overly hyped fragrances that I ever bought. This is a poor, but a very poor rendition of what a fragrance should smell. This has nothing in common with quality, this has nothing in common with performance, and go ahead and fill the blank spots. Let's talk about this fragrance that came to the market in 2020. We have a interesting composition. This is considered to be a clone of Creed Silver Mountain Water. To my nose, it shares similarities in terms of the scent, but also in terms of the performance, because to me they are similar, they are identical. This is a very poor lasting fragrance on my skin. At most, at best, I got 6 hours of longevity with this fragrance on me. And when I talk about longevity, I mean from the first moment that I apply the fragrance on my skin up until the last moment or second that I can get something coming from my skin. I do not confuse longevity with projections like the grand majority of consumers out there do, which believe that as long as a fragrance is projecting, that is how longevity is measured. It's not the same thing. Let's talk about the composition. We have in the top notes bergamot, blackcurrant, lemon, violet leaf, lime and ginger. We have in the middle iris, jasmine and rose, and in the base we have musk, ambroxan, of course, sandalwood and cedar. So this is the note breakdown for this fragrance. A lot of notes included, but unfortunately in real life on my skin I don't get all the notes. I don't get too many notes. I only get a huge blast of synthetic ambroxan combined with citruses, with some very obnoxious and synthetic florals, mainly rose and jasmine, and a huge dose of musk. No sandalwood, no cedar, no violet leaf, no blackcurrant on my skin, no ginger. They are nowhere to be found. So this to me is a very ambroxany, musky thing, because I'm not going to call it a fragrance, because this to me isn't a fragrance. This is a thing that has nothing in common with I don't know, common sense, if you want. This is a huge chemical mess, and it starts like that and it ends like that. Though thank God it's very short lived on my skin, because everybody on the internet is praising this fragrance as being such a beautiful masterpiece. This is so good, this is so great, this is so beautiful. This is the fragrance with which Armaf finally dethroned Creed in terms of creations and whatnot. You know me, if you're following me, I don't love the House of Creed. I hate it with a passion. I don't love their creations. I think they are overly priced and overly hyped to the extreme. But this doesn't mean that they don't have fragrances that are truly great and that I truly appreciate. For example, Royal Mayfair, which I truly love and appreciate, Original Santal, and so on and so forth. Yes, I don't like Aventus. I don't like Silver Mountain Water, for example. I don't like all the other hyped fragrances in the so-called community. But to see everybody talking about this Armaf, Club de Nuit Sillage, in those terms, I've seen that dude from England, I don't know from where he is. He's called the Jesus of Perfumery or something like this. That's his nickname. Praising for half an hour this fragrance, saying that this is so good compared to Creed's Silver Mountain Water, the performance, the quality of the ingredients, the way that it projects, the sillage and whatnot. Come on, guys. I mean, come on. Let's be let's be real for a second. Yes, I like Club de Nuit Intense Man. It's one of my favorite fragrances. I love it, actually. and I prefer it to the overly hyped Aventus. I like Milestone, which is a copy of Millésime Imperial, mainly because it performs better than Millésime Imperial, and the longevity and projection is better than Millésime Imperial. But Sillage from Armaf compared to Silver Mountain Water, it's not the same thing. Let's not exaggerate where we shouldn't. Let's not place products to our viewers just because we have sponsorships backing us up. You know, I get it. You have partnerships with different fragrance retailers and whatnot, so you need to push their merchandise, especially when it's a new release, such as this one was in 2020. But to overhype and to overemphasize its features and how great it is and what an amazing quality it has, well, this is a different story. And I could not agree with this type of practices when it comes to fragrance reviewing. And this is my biggest problem since always with this type of reviewers. I don't care how big your channel is. I don't care if you have 1 million or you have 100,000 subscribers. I don't give a rat's ass. If I see that you are placing products, make sure that I'm going to come after you. Because regular consumers, your viewers, are simple people. They don't get money from the sky. They work for their money. And they earn their money. Therefore, if you come and do all these things that I talk about, they're going to lose money. They will regret their purchase decision because they were tricked into buying the fragrance by people like you, who have nothing in common with reviewing things, mainly because you get the fragrance from your sponsor, you open up the box, you apply 2 sprays on your wrist, and afterwards you start talking about performance, how it smells, note breakdown and whatnot. This isn't the way of doing things. Therefore, I'm the only one in the online that's going to tell you that this is a piece of crap. To me, this is my honest opinion. This is my personal opinion after I bought it, after I wore it, after I've seen how it performs, how it interacts with my skin, after I've seen what the performance, the overall performance of this fragrance is. This is what I have to say. Armaf Club de Nuit Sillage, or Sillage, is a piece of crap. This is scented water. Ad literam. Scented water. This is not a fragrance. This is only scented water. Very synthetic, very chemical, poor performance. Projection is good only for the first 1.5 to 2 hours. Afterwards, it has a huge drop in terms of projection and sillage, which is unacceptable, considering the fact that this fragrance that you see right here is selling in my country, in Romania, for roughly 70 euros. For 90 euros or 100 euros, you can go and purchase Mancera Wave Mask, which is in a different league compared to this one, and with which this one also shares similarities. If you are so desperate about Ambroxan, you cannot live without Ambroxan, then I highly encourage you to go and pay 35 euros for Bentley Foreman Azur, which smells better, has higher quality ingredients, and performs like a monster compared to this one. So, to put it simple, thanks but no thanks, Armaf. And thanks but no thanks for your reviews, for your honest reviews that you are putting on YouTube and making people buy crappy stuff. This is my personal opinion. Who has a problem with this? It's his problem. It's not my problem. I always spoke my mind, and I will always tell my audience or whoever is watching my videos the truth. Why? Because I'm a real life consumer, and only afterwards I'm a collector and a fragrance enthusiast and whatnot, and so on and so forth. If you have the opportunity to sample this fragrance, I highly encourage you to sample it first. Buy a decant, buy a sample, test it out on your own skin, wear it a couple of times, see how it performs, and only afterwards, based on your own conclusions, go ahead and purchase or not a full bottle. That's it. From where I stand, I cannot recommend this fragrance to anyone. Yes, Club de Nuit Intense Man is great. Yes, Milestone is good, but this one is poor. Very, very poor. It's not worth the hype. It's not worth the money that you pay. And you have better alternatives for a cheaper price or a more expensive price that are a lot better compared to this one. This is all that I have to say about this fragrance. I'm going to see you in the next one. As always, thank you for watching. Be safe, be good, and remember, smell good, feel good. Peace.